Hello everyone, this is Carlin Wilson, the Fit Educator. I'm going to go over a couple of exercises that are performed quite often in gyms and fitness facilities, and there's some pros and cons to it. So I'm going to talk about the proper way to do a lower body extension, and compared to what we often see as far as how most perform this exercise and what that really means for the spine. And then we're going to go over an alternative exercise that you're able to do for those who actually do have lower back pain or experience sciatica in a way that actually helps strengthen the glutes, takes the pressure, the tension off the lower back, and relieves spinal pain as well. Okay, so I'm going to use the Rogue lower back extension over here behind me. The first thing that you have to do is to make sure that your setting is to where when your hips, you're using the top of the hip bone as your point of reference, okay? So once the top of the hip bone is placed on the pad, then you want to make sure that there's clearance for the upper body or the torso, including the stomach, right? So it shouldn't be uncomfortable on your stomach when you're laying down on one of these lower back extensions. You want to make sure that you have the ability to descend or to have some minimal spinal flexion in order to perform the exercise. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do it in the way that we are accustomed to seeing it in gyms, and maybe the way some of you are performing as well. All right, so I'm going to line myself in here. The Rogue is a little more parallel versus the other alternative, which is one that's more at an angle, right? So I have this placed top of the hip bone. I'm going to release down. As soon as I do that, I get activation in my hamstrings and my glutes, keep my spine neutral, and come up. Often we see this all the way down and all the way up, okay? All the way down, all the way up. Now, I'm going to talk about that. It's not that that's totally wrong. The issue with that is that what you're trying to do, and what I believe is most people are trying to get that stretch in the lower back because it feels good. The problem is that when you're completely all the way down or at a 90-degree angle from the torso up, in order to get back up to parallel, you're going to use your lower back. Your lower back is a very small muscle group, right? All right, so we have the rectus spinae, and it kind of attaches around to our obliques, but it's not meant to be the burden barrier, so to speak. That's our glutes. The butt muscles is the strongest. That's the lower back muscle that really we use to pick up any heavy objects. When we bend over in normal daily activities, you really are supposed to be using your legs, quads and hamstrings, and your glutes, not your lower back. So in this case, in the lower back extension, going 90 degrees is too much, right? So I'm going to do it where I'm going to come down to about halfway. So I'm going to go 45 instead of 90. Going 45 allows me to keep the tension on my hamstrings and my glutes, which protects my lower back. I don't feel a pull or stress on the lower back at all. And more often than not, you're not going to feel any stress or any irritation in the spine as well. And for some of you who have sciatica issues, doing this, we're only irritated. Okay, so I'm going to do the alternative, which would be 45 degrees, which is way more controlled, and you must use your core and your abdominal muscles in order to keep yourself upright and parallel. Same starting position, activated, 45 up. At 45, the tension stays on the hamstrings and glutes. It's much more controlled. Exhale on the lift, inhale down. Exhale on the lift, inhale down. A couple more. Good, all right. Now, so what I want you to do, try that on your own. If you're someone who actually are accustomed to doing the lower back extension and going all the way down, that's fine. Use that for a stretch. So when you do that, do not do controlled movements and treat it like an exercise. Go ahead and do a forward fold, stretch. If that feels good, that's okay. Hold that more like a static stretch where you're holding it for 10, 15 seconds, come back up. If you're looking to do the lower back extension, should be 45 degrees. Make sure that there's consistent contraction on the hamstrings and the glutes the entire time, right? That's the area we want to strengthen, and we want to protect our lower back, and we want to always utilize our abdominal muscles, especially when we're doing a trunk exercise such as the lower back extension, okay? So hopefully that tip helps you. Remember, continue to go onto my YouTube page, Carlin Wilson, the Fit Educator, and until the next video, you have a great day.